You can enhance your manifestation powers beyond your imagination by becoming the magician in your life. The magician is the archetype of the resourceful one, the one who looks to its reality and see for what is it that I have? What do I have within? What do I have for thoughts? What do I have for in the physical material world that I can make use of, that I can make even more of, or that I can make the best of? How can I use my energies to transmute and transform, alchemize something into something else? So the magician is someone who really knows how to manifest things into their reality, because they don't look to something that they don't have. They don't look to something that they wait for getting, right? So picture a modern magician saying that I will go and begin travel again when I have this job. Or I will feel happy again when I do not have pain in my body. I will go for my dreams when I'm healed. The magician doesn't look for, this is not what I have, so I will just wait for that. The magician is really, really, really looking into what is it that I have right here, right now, that I can amplify, that I can enhance, that I can really have use of to make this be for my favor. How can I be as powerful as possible in the position that I'm at? And this is something that I think that we miss out of many times when we want to become our ideal self, or we want to make a bigger change in our lives. We maybe want to do things for the better for ourselves and so forth, right? So we miss sometimes out of really looking into, like, how is my environment, both internal and external, actually supporting me right here, right now? And how can I make use of what I've been gifted, what I've been blessed with, to really, really, really make this reality a manifested world? So if you're not watching the screen right now, just take a couple of seconds, pick up your phone and look at the screen. We'll make a little fun little practice today. So these are 4 pictures. I want you to look into these pictures, and maybe you already picked one, or maybe you need a little bit more time and moment to really tune into your intuition. Pause the video in that case. Whatever picture that you are being drawn to the most right now is the one where you can really have use of your resources. Okay, so as I said, the magician knows its resources, and the magician knows when some resources maybe is not utilized in the best possible way. So whatever picture you picked, this is the way that you can really make a big change for your manifestations, how you can really take your manifestations into the next level. I do this every time when I feel that, okay, wait a minute, what is happening? Now I feel that I need to boost my manifestation powers. Okay, then I have a look into my resources. And sometimes, our intuition can really say that, okay, well, what is it that I can have use of even more, or what resource is it that I actually have that I maybe don't see? And our intuition begin to talk to us directly. But sometimes it is a little bit more like difficult than that, or it's a little bit, we maybe are a little bit occupied in our minds, or a little bit tapped out, so to say, so we may not really get that type of direction. Then this kind of picture thing is a great direction for it. So whatever picture that you picked, 1, 2, 3, or 4, we're going to go through them together, and we're going to talk about where in your life you maybe need to, fuel your resources a little bit more. So let's begin with picture number 1. Picture number 1 is actually a representation of the element of earth. This element is the element of the material world, things that we already see, things that we can already touch, okay? So this might be connections, it might be a network, it might be some relationships, like a physical human form, right? It might be your own body, your own tool, so to say. It might be some certain type of tools that you use. You maybe use divination tools, or you maybe use, what do I know, your phone to write down important notes every single day. Whatever it is, you might have things in your reality right here, right now, that is so good for your manifestations. So if you have a certain type of manifestation that you want to go through with, that you really want to happen now, that you really want to, realize into your world, then it might be a great idea if you pick the first picture that is the element of the earth to really look into, okay, where are the structures I have? Do I have all the structures? It might also be in regards to some certain type of strategy actually. Do I have the strategy for it? Do I have the momentum for it? Or do I need to create more momentum for it? Is it something in regards to, monetary matters, the money that I have? How do I make the best use of the money that I already have? Is it some certain type of investment that I should make? Or is it some certain type of rearrangement? Or is it somewhere I want to exchange my energy for money for something, right? So really look into the different material things in your world and how that can be of help for you. This is really talking about like looking into your physical world and see for all the resources that you already have that can really help you here. A good example is that let's say that you want to change your whole wardrobe. The best way to do that is first and foremost to make use the best of what you already have. Do you need to rearrange your clothes? Do you need to hang them in a different way so you actually see certain clothes that you usually don't wear? Do you need to have a day where you just like try different outfits out and see if you can find a new type of outfit? Can you make some kind of sewing maybe? Can you make some change in your clothes? Right? So what can you do of what you already have so you can step into more of that vibration that you want of that particular manifestation? So next picture is the element of water. So if you were drawn to the element of water, this is really the realm of the subconscious. It is the realm of your emotions and all those beautiful things that is happening within, right? It might also indicate a, closer and very close relationship. I'm talking about the most closest to the relationship with you, or the relationship with a best friend, with a partner, with a family member. But most common, so to say, this is about your internal world, and is it about your emotional states. So how can you make best use of your emotional states? I mean, myself do actually have very strong emotional states. I know when I'm doubting things, or when I do feel very strongly about something, a certain fear or something, sometimes that can be manifested because that is how powerful my emotions are. So my emotions are also really powerful when I feel excited for something, when I feel happy, when I feel giggly. So I make use of that the most possible way that I can. I make sure that my emotional state is harmonic, is peaceful, is really serving me to the best. Because I know that, for me at least, I have a very strong power. It might also be your intuition. Maybe you're very intuitive. Maybe you are actually really good at, give yourself directions through your intuition. And that is the resource that you should use the most. Maybe logics is not the way that you should move forward right now in that case, right? In regards to finding the direction, or in regards to, take those daily steps or whatever it is for your manifestation, right? Maybe it's actually your intuition and building that relationship with your intuition that is the most and best use of your resources right now. It can also be, as I said, subconscious, so that can be some certain type of beliefs. Maybe you have certain type of beliefs that are so powerful, so you want to shift them or, transform them even more to be even more so powerful for your manifestation and supporting your manifestation. So the next picture, if you picked the picture number 3, this is the element of fire. And element of fire and using the resources of fire is all about passion. It's all about creativity. It is about your spirit. It is about excitement. It is about quite kind of a, go-getter energy. Okay, it's action, but it's inspired action. So maybe the best you can use right here, right now, might be your willpower. You maybe have a very strong passion for something, and that passion carries you through everything. You don't doubt when you're in your passions. You don't question yourself when you're in your passions. You have the best ideas when you're in your passions, right? Then maybe that's the resource that you should use the most right now for your manifestations. Might also be your creativity, for instance. Maybe you have an abundance in creativity. Use that. How can you use the creativity that you already have even more? You don't need to maybe continue to go out, seek for more inspired ideas, more inspired actions, more creative ideas. When you're becoming the magician in your life, you make sure that you know exactly what you have right now and you use those resources. So maybe you should use your ideas, really feed into those ideas, maybe repurpose those ideas, maybe make them from something into something else, right? So really have a look at how can you be the most resourceful as possible, but also in this realm of the fire, your energy. Okay, so maybe you can have use of your energy in better ways that you have right now, or maybe you should just have a look at when am I the most energetic? When is my energy? When or where or how is my energy the most sustainable? And you use that to kind of fuel your energy forward into your manifestation. So the last picture is the element of air, and the element of air is the realm of thoughts. It's the realm of communication. It's the realm of listening. You are in the realm of speech, of truth. So here might be great to look into your thought loops, how they're feeding into a certain manifestation and another type of manifestation. What I mean with that is that are your thoughts supporting and actually aligned with what it is that you really want manifested even more in your life? Or is that something that go against it? Is it something that maybe even conflicts with it? Make sure that you pay attention, close attention to your thoughts. Do you get a thought that is not aligned to that dream? Well, okay, then we shift that. When we see that thought, we pick it up and we shift it and say the opposite things to it, right? If you have some certain type of doubt, this will not work. You will just like, this will work. This will totally work for me. Might also be that your thoughts maybe don't serve you so much any longer. Maybe you have to have a little bit of a look at like what thoughts are you feeding into the most and what thoughts do you want to change it with. This can also be, as I said, communication. So how do you communicate about your dreams? Do you communicate about them at all towards yourself, towards others? Do you claim them? Are you true about them, right? Are you showing your authenticity where you are at right now? Or do you hide? Or are you silent, right? Or sometimes silence can be a way of communication as well, but make sure that that is the empowered way of a communication. So how can you make use of your resources in this realm? Maybe it's so that you actually don't need to communicate more, but you have to change the way that you communicate. Maybe you don't need to tell that person or tell that partner or whatever one more time how you don't like that kind of behavior or whatever it is. Maybe you actually have to learn to communicate in another way, right? So this is not about doing less or doing more. This is really about seeing what resources do I have right here, right now, and how can I make them as fruitful as possible and as sustainable as possible, and how can I transform, transmute, and shift those energies and those vibrations that are not supporting this manifestation. This is the magician's work. All these 4 pictures is a practice for you. As I said, a help for you for your intuition. You might have been drawn to more than one picture, and then you probably want to look into more of these elements, so to say, to carry through and really make use of the best resources. And this is a fun practice, but at the same time is also very, very reflecting. And you can do this yourself. You can reuse these pictures. You can go back and can save this video and reuse these pictures for later and then go through it again. But you can also actually just go on Pinterest or search on wherever kind of social media platform you're using or something, like landscapes, fantasy landscapes, and really look into the pictures. And when you get caught on our picture, you look to that picture. Okay, what is the representations of this element? Is it earth? Is it fire? Is it air? Or is it mostly, what's the last one? Water, right? So this is really how you become the magician in your own life. To truly understand that all the resources that you have is really good enough. They are more than good enough. And it's just for you, the holder of these resources, to understand how you make use of them the most.